So if you look at the Orphan Drug Act in Canada, well, it's been 31 years in the United States that you do have an Orphan Drug Act, and in Europe it's been more than 14 years. In Canada, we're still thinking about it. It's a bit our Canadian way, we want to do like baby step. I believe that in 2014, we'll get an Orphan Drug Act, but unfortunately, we will not have any exclusivity that will be attached to it. I think the exclusivity is what makes the Orphan Drug Act in the United States so powerful. I believe that it will take another 2 years before the Canadian government allows an exclusivity to be attached to the Orphan Drug Act. So what it means is if you have a repurposed drug, you will not get in Canada the exclusivity that you may have in the United States or Europe. But there's still a way to bring those drugs in Canada, and there's money to be made. Just that you have to spend the time and the energy to do it. What the Orphan Drug Act will do this year, it's only to characterize what's an orphan and what's not an orphan, and also to streamline how the drug will be processed at Health Canada. So you can have like expedited review, you will have reduced costs, because right now in Canada, when you're filing a drug for 2 patients or you're filing a drug like a Lipitor, it costs you the same. With the Orphan Drug Act, it will carve in stone how much would it cost for an orphan drug to be approved in Canada compared to, let's say, a normal drug. And so there'll be advantage to the Orphan Drug Act. If you look at the exclusivity, clearly if you have a drug that could perform very well in Canada and they don't give you the exclusivity, a lot of companies will just say, well, I don't want to sell this drug in Canada. I'm too afraid that the generic industry will try to copy it, develop the dossier, and then come back to the other country and copy this drug elsewhere. So a lot of the CEOs are afraid that they see Canada as a generic nursery. So if the Canadian government provide us this, let's say, 7 years exclusivity, it makes a lot of difference for some small pharmaceutical company that are afraid of being genericized, and there'll be less risk, they'll be less at risk, let's say. But I believe that in Canada, rule of thumb, if your drug that you're making, even if you don't have a patent, if you make less than $5 million of sales in Canada, chances are that the generic will not try to copy you. So, and most of the drugs that are made by orphan company are pretty complicated to copy. You have biologic, it's not all single, small molecule kind of drug. So if you have a market for less than $5 million, I think you have a market in Canada, even though you don't have a patent. But still, I think the Canadian government, we're part of the G8, and all members of G8 have an Orphan Drug Act with exclusivity, and it's about time that we have it too.